Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today, you know what? Things are looking pretty darn good. We averted another bloody Sunday. In fact, Bitcoin is pumping up right now. Altcoins are coming back up as well. So today I have some very important and fascinating news to share with you guys. And also, I think today will be a good time to look at which altcoins are best buys right now. The ones that have been decimated, the ones that have been really weak as of late. Let's take a look at which ones that are terrific buys. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Quora, and CryptosRUs.com. Yes, everywhere. So let's do this, guys. Welcome. Let me change my screen. All right. So, all this talk about Death Cross and FUD and whatever, you know what? Like I always say, Bitcoin will do what it wants to do. And, just not too long ago, Bitcoin all of a sudden just pumped up from 35,000 down up to about 37,000. So things are looking a little bit better this morning. Of course, yesterday, Bitcoin went down to like 34, 35, and it came right back up. But then again, a few days ago, we were at 37 and 38 and 39, right? So we're still in recovery mode, no doubt. This is not an ultra pump. But, the important thing is to just do what you keep doing, right? To those of you guys that have been in it for a while, I know you are. Those of you guys that are new, you may not be feeling so hot. You might be worried because of all the FUD that's out there, the media-driven FUD. But honestly, Bitcoin is a long-term play. You're investing because you're trying to build that life-changing wealth, and you don't want anyone else to disrupt you of that or take that away from you. You don't want the corrupt, the wicked, the unholy to fear you out of your life-changing wealth. You want to stick with it, right? And things turn around suddenly or unexpectedly all the time. So that's what we're seeing this morning. So this is pretty good. Also, if you look at the global market cap, up a little bit, only about 2%. So today, Bitcoin is doing a lot better than altcoins. Bitcoin dominance went up. It's nearing 45% once again. So a lot of altcoins are still very down from their previous highs and even from a month ago, right? So today I want to look at, kind of go down the list and see which ones scream out as a good buy. But before I get to that, there are a few pieces of news. Very interesting. Very interesting. I was going to make one of these the headline of today, but I decided that, I think altcoins, are a bigger draw. But still, I wanted to talk about this one, and that is the fact that we may actually see Volcano Bonds. And let me explain what I'm talking about. Volcano Bitcoin Bonds. So over the past few days, I've been talking a lot about El Salvador and how they plan on using their volcanoes to power Bitcoin mining. And they have a ton of renewable energy that is just sitting there doing nothing. And El Salvador can, of course, utilize that to power Bitcoin mining. And because of it, and this whole embrace of Bitcoin, IMF is not pleased. IMF does not want to lose their control over these smaller countries that really need their help, that needs their loans, right? But El Salvador is trying to better themselves. They're like, hey, screw that. We have this opportunity. We have the volcano power. The IMF is not really digging it. But my friend at the Express, Brian, he wrote this piece this morning. And what's interesting is I haven't seen anyone talk about it or pick this up. He actually did have an exclusive interview with Max Kaiser about this. So that's very interesting. So this is I believe this is the first that you're hearing this. So he talked to Max about this, and Max presented some interesting things. So starting down here. Okay, so according to Brian, he talked to Max about El Salvador's move, right? And Max says the IMF will probably be the first to go. I've advised El Salvador to create new Volcano Bonds backed by future Bitcoin mining revenues to recapitalize their balance sheet and to retire the IMF loans. Because right now there is some IMF loans, and El Salvador is, I think, in the process of getting more. And this is why the IMF is like, uh-oh, they're embracing Bitcoin, so we better put a stop to it, right? But this is interesting. Why not offer bonds, Volcano bonds, that's backed by the revenue from Bitcoin mining of the future, right? That's insane if you think about it. And that makes a whole lot of sense. That's a whole lot of sense, right? I know of 2 banks in New York that are working on this right now. Property prices in El Salvador are set to triple this decade as several countries in the region, Argentina, Guatemala, Paraguay, and others will shortly announce that they are following El Salvador's example, which I believe, because there's a lot of countries that are in poverty, a lot of their citizens don't have a bank account, and they're at the mercy of the IMF, and they all want to break free and better themselves and better their citizens. So I totally agree that that's going to happen. Other central banks, such as the Bank of England and Federal Reserve Bank in America, are also at risk of being disintermediated as Bitcoin rises to become the new world's reserve currency. And then Max Kaiser also suggested Volcano bonds should be floated to finance El Salvador's geothermal Bitcoin mining operations. Yes, so you offer these bonds, you offer to whoever that may be interested in making money or because they're interested in Bitcoin mining. And then once you have those bonds sold and you have all this money that's sitting there, and you use that to create all these fancy Bitcoin mining farms, right? It's genius. It's genius if you think about it. It really is. It really is. You can make billions off of this very easily and really transform El Salvador with one scoop. It really is. So thanks to Max and Brian for bringing this up. But I think this is definitely something that President Nayib is going to be looking at and El Salvador is going to look at, because if they're very serious about getting into Bitcoin mining, utilizing their 100% renewable energy from their volcano, this makes a whole lot of sense. A whole lot of sense. Swoop. I screwed that up. But yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense. So, very interesting twist. And speaking of Bitcoin mining, so this mining console, which still has a lot of people very, 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 very cautious about, because people don't want consoles. The whole thing about a console just implies that, it's a secret selective group and the console gets to decide what goes. So people are not happy when this was announced. At least half the people were not happy. This is one of the only things I think Michael has done that has really, drawn some question marks on whether or not this is actually a good thing or not, right? But you know what? The mining console will continue, and they're trying to alleviate these concerns by saying, hey, we're completely transparent. We're not going to be doing any shenanigans. They are going to have their meetings broadcasted so anyone could tune in and listen to what's going on. They're inviting any miners to join this collective group. And ultimately what they want to do is, basically try to move themselves to 100% renewable energy in the future. The whole point of the console is trying to alleviate all these ESG concerns about Bitcoin using too much energy, using dirty energy, and all this stuff. Trying to alleviate all those concerns and just trying to push the industry forward to becoming more transparent with energy usage and moving fully towards 100% renewable energy. So that sounds pretty good. And they want to make sure people know that Elon has nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. They listed Michael Saylor as a founding member, although he's not really a minor, so he doesn't, I don't know if he's going to really participate in this, but they did make very clear that Elon is not part of this. Yes, he did have a discussion with them early on, but this console has nothing to do with Elon. All right, so what else is there? Lastly, I want to talk about this, and this article is actually posted on CryptosRUs.com. So Nigeria opening up to Bitcoin. I tweeted this not too long ago, right before I started the stream, and it's very interesting how there is a big push for Nigeria, which is the biggest country in Africa with 211 million people. There is an initiative now to push them into Bitcoin. Not push them, but basically embracing Bitcoin. Jack Dorsey has been talking a lot about Nigeria. You can see that he tweeted the Nigerian flag, right? And also he has mentioned a few times about Nigeria, and he's been working with them on basically a few things with Twitter and with Bitcoin and with a whole lot of other things. And Russell Okun, which is the first football player to basically take Bitcoin as salary. Well, the NFL doesn't pay him in Bitcoin. Basically, he takes a salary and puts half of it in Bitcoin, which made him one of the richest players of last year. But he's also from Nigeria, and he also wrote this big article just basically saying that, hey, you know what, Nigeria really needs to think about, embracing Bitcoin, and maybe you never know, maybe this is going to come. I mean, like I said, El Salvador, they're a small country, but they're first to fully embrace Bitcoin. And, it just takes the first of someone to do it. I heard someone use this analogy. Think about Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, okay? MicroStrategy, on the grand scheme of things, is a very, very, very small company. Very, very, very small public trade company. Yet, someone took a chance. Michael Saylor took a chance, fully embraced Bitcoin. Fully, I mean, literally put all their money into Bitcoin, took a chance, and it worked. It worked. Look at the attention MicroStrategy received, how the company's market cap has exploded, and overall it has really worked. And because of it, there was many companies afterwards that followed. Companies that are much bigger. You can include Tesla in there. You can include Square in there. You can include these gaming companies and all various companies that are actually much bigger than MicroStrategy. They came in afterwards, right? So I believe El Salvador is kind of the same thing. Even though it's a tiny little country with only like 6 million population, but the fact that they decided to do it first, they could be seen as the Michael Saylor, like the MicroStrategy of countries. Now, other bigger countries that are in the same position with a lot more people and citizens, they're probably looking into it now, seeing what they're doing, right? And President Naive, if he's very transparent about how he's doing things, maybe others will really listen and embrace Bitcoin. It's something that we haven't seen before. This is first time in history. So who knows what is going to come out of this? Maybe very, very, very good things. And we'll see, the powers that be, the guys like IMF and World Bank, how they're going to react. How they're going to react to countries no longer needing their loans, no longer being chained to them, no longer have to listen to them. It's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So Nigeria might be another country that is set to fully embrace Bitcoin. So if you want to read more about this, check out CryptosRUs.com. All right, so that is pretty much it in terms of the news overall. Let's move to CMC. Overall market cap about 1.55 trillion. So a little bit, slight increase. Bitcoin dominance, I mentioned, did go up slightly, but you could see that even though there's some greens, some greens, but if you look at the week, most altcoins are down significantly. So rather than look at the last week, let's go back a little further. So I will bring up another site called Coin Codex, which you can sort pretty easily by like a time frame. So you go back 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, so forth. I'm gonna go back 1 month. I think 1 month is a good time frame to look at how much altcoins have come down by. Right, so let's start out with just the top. Bitcoin is down about 30% from a month ago. What? Yeah, let me check super chat. I know there was a few super chats. I apologize if I missed them. I don't know what baby Dogecoin is. But anyways, all right, so obviously starting from the top, Bitcoin down 30% from a month ago, and obviously down more even further back, from its all-time high. So I say Bitcoin is still a pretty good buy right now. I don't think you could ever go wrong buying Bitcoin, literally at any price. I know that sounds stupid, but even if you bought at $60-something thousand, you know what? Bitcoin's gonna come back, and it will be higher and stronger. You just have to wait. Bitcoin, we know Bitcoin's not going to go anywhere. At least I do. I truly believe Bitcoin is only getting started and only going to get bigger and stronger. And with countries adopting, I mean, just think about that, right? So really, you can't go wrong buying Bitcoin. Obviously, if you could time it and buy things when it's on a dip, it's better, like right now. But you go down the list, Ethereum, I'm going to go quickly down. I'm not going to explain every single project, but there are a few that really stands out that I really do love. Ethereum, I think, is not going to go away. There's a lot of attention on Ethereum right now. I don't think it's going away. It's still the leader of DeFi. So down 40%. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good buy. Same thing with Binance Coin, down 44%. A little bit more weakness because a lot of the hacks that have happened, right? But you know what? They will recover. Binance Smart Chain is not going to go away anytime soon, and Binance itself is not going to go away anytime soon. So I don't think that's go. I don't think that's going to change. So please check Pi on CMC. Huge DeFi play. Pi swap. You can swap any coin for another partner. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it later. Going down. So obviously 45%. Yeah, pretty good buy. Cardano, I love. I think it's going to go very far, but it's only down 20%. But still, Cardano is a good play. Dogecoin, I think, is still going to hold. I don't think Dogecoin's going to go anywhere. So down 35%. Yeah, I think it's not bad. XRP down. Yes, there's a big loyal following for XRP, and their lawsuit is still ongoing. But when it settles, yes. So next to DOT and Uniswap down almost 50% each. I think these are fantastic. They're really good buys at this point. Uniswap is not going anyway. It's not going away. And once they onboard their layer 2, I think it's optimism. That's going to help them a lot. Polkadot with their parachains. Kusama has now conducted auctions for parachains. So as soon as that's done, it's going to come to Polkadot. I think that's a big thing. Going down the list, I love Solana, but Solana has been very strong. Only down 17% versus 40-50% of some of the other coins. But I still think Solana is good. Chainlink definitely down 52% for really no good reason at all. So Chainlink, I think, is definitely a best buy right now. Theta, I do love. And Matic, I do love. Matic, look at it. It's actually up 16% for the month. It's one of the only altcoins that's up. So that shows you how strong Matic is. But I still do love Matic, and I love Theta. And Theta does have their mainnet coming up. So watch out for that. VeChain, I do love, down 44%. Absolutely no reason for it to be down. I love VeChain. And then going down the list, there's a lot here that I'm neutral on. I think Aave is a good buy, down 50%. Neo down 55%. I think good buy. I think with China, embracing crypto pretty soon. It's going to help VeChain quite a bit. It's probably going to help Neo as well, because Neo is the second biggest chain from China. Kusama, with all this parachain auctions, I think Kusama is going to be in a very good place. That's why it has been slowly moving up quite a bit. Now moving down the list, Crypto.com down about 30%. Celsius, I never really talked about Celsius, but they're only down 4%, so they're doing really well right now. Crypto.com 30%, yeah. I'd say IOTA, they're working on their new chain, or I should say old chain without the coordinator node. So hopefully they can get that done, but I'm still waiting for that. Look at Pancake Swap, right down 51%. That's a bargain. T-Fuel is up so much because of this new mainnet from Theta, so don't sleep on them. They're up 55% for the month, so they're not a bargain, but still, I do love Theta and T-Fuel. We need Arnon says we need to support El Salvador. The IMF are not gonna go roll over. Thought, yeah, we need to support them, but I don't know what other kind of support you're thinking about. Would you rather have 25 ICP or DOT? I'd rather have DOT. I'm not a fan of ICP. I think it's way too hyped up. And a lot of people just keep telling me, hey, I bought ICP, but they can't really tell me why they bought ICP. They just FOMO'd in, and that's not what you want to do, especially something that was a big cap. I sold all my Tesla stock last week and reinvested in Bitcoin. Suck on that, Elon. Good for you. Saying, oh, I forgot. I need to give a shout out to a fan, David Chen. He's a big fan. One of my friends was over at his house. Didn't know that he was a fan, so I'm giving a big shout out to David. All right, moving down the list. Cosmos down 52%. I think that's a screaming buy. Cosmos has a lot. Their Gravity Dex is coming out later this month. I think that's going to be a huge thing for them. Huge thing. Going down, Luna down 65%. There's really no reason for this. People, I know that Luna, Terra shot up very, very quickly beginning of this year, but they have been really weak as of late, but there's really no good reason for it. They have great dApps that's running aboard. People are utilizing them, and they have traction in South Korea with their app. So, Luna, I think, is very undervalued. It got oversold for no good reason. And there's an article on CryptosRUs.com too. Going down, AMP. A lot of people keep talking to me. AMP is good. It has done really well. Despite the fact that, the Coinbase edition didn't make it pump a little bit, but it's still down 16%. So that means it's still a pretty good buy, although not as good as some of the other ones. Compound down 62%. Not sure about that. Hedera, I think it's okay. Compound, Chiliz, Compound, 62%. There's no reason for that. Chiliz being down 38%. I like them in the NFT space. A lot of people really love Rune. I'm kind of neutral on them. I think they're a little bit too overhyped, but still, their liquidity pools for decentralized liquidity pools have a purpose. Down almost 60%. Telcoin down 31%. I think Telcoin is a good one. Their new charter bank would really help them in the U.S. I think going down the list, Hollow, Yearn, Near, Zilliqa, Elrond. I think this lineup right here, right? Out of these five, I like Near and Zilliqa the best. But Hollow and Yearn and Elrond, they're all pretty good projects. But look at it. They're all down 40, 50%. They're good. These two, Engine and Mana. For NFT plays, I love these two. Besides Chiliz, the two other NFT plays that I love, Engine and Mana, I think everyone should look at these. Mana is a virtual world, which is one gigantic NFT play. And anything inside is basically NFT. And Engine also has a lot of NFT stuff. Not only that, their own chain, their universal wallet, and so forth. So these two down almost 50%. Yeah, pretty good buys. Basic attention token down 50%. Pretty good buy. Harmony, pretty good buy. I do like Harmony quite a bit. Digibyte down 55%. I think it's also a pretty good buy. Going down the list, Graph. Graph has been really hammered. Really hammered. Now below $1 billion market cap. 55%. I think the Graph is a good buy right now. Quant is actually doing well. They must have released something. KuCoin token and OMG and Swissberg, I think they're okay. But KuCoin, I love KuCoin. Those of you guys have used it, you know that it's a fantastic exchange. They're like Binance Mini, right? So KuCoin token. Phantom down 64%. That's a good buy. I think Phantom is following the same footsteps as Harmony. And you can argue they're both following the footsteps of Polygon. Their ecosystem is not nearly as big as Polygon's, but still, they're in that space. I think Phantom is also a good buy here at minus 64%. Icon, okay, down 60%. Arweave down 48%. I like Arweave. For decentralized storage, I like Arweave the best. Voyager down about 40%. I think they're still a great broker exchange. They have a fancy app. They've added a few new tokens recently. I think they're pretty good at this point. Where Wazirx, I don't even know how to say it. Wazirx, right, which is a Binance owned exchange for India. I don't know if India's going to turn pro crypto. If they do, this will probably explode. I mean, there's some rumors about it. IOST, Mina. A lot of people ask me about Mina, right? Mina is this new fancy blockchain that is very small, like 22 kilobytes, right? But I finally found out that the negative side to it is they can't really scale right now, and security is not the best. So even though it's like a very new age, like fancy way to do blockchain, they can't scale, and security is still questionable. So you got to be careful. It's not like, let's just say it's still work in progress. I think Kyber, Pundi down 50%. I think Pundi, it still questions me. These two, Pundi and Dent, right? I don't know if I got fooled or what, but I was always neutral on them because Pundi, I thought, was in a very competitive space. They didn't have a lot of terminals, POS devices. And then Dent also, I was always saying they're at the mercy of the carriers, right? But then they both pumped up crazily in the first 3 months of this year. And Pundi looked like they were doing great things with their new chain. They had a redenomination, and they were going to get it more into like DeFi stuff, right? But after that, it didn't really pan out. After that, they just became weak. So it was like buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. And Dent, on the other hand, is the same thing. They were doing a lot of great things with mobile carriers, their mobile data, and they were onboarding more carriers. They introduced where if you held Dent, you get discounts on your monthly, right? They were really hot, but then they just got really cold too. But I still have hopes for both of these projects because they do look like they're really working hard, and they are not giving up. So I hope these two can come back up. But right now, they are down quite a bit. Ergo is this fancy new project on Cardano that there's a lot of hype about. They're actually doing really well. Scale is a layer 2. Okay, Mirror Protocol created by Terra. I think they're good. Going down the list. Say Ocean Decentralized Platform. Oh, Venus. Venus down almost 80%. Wow. Unfortunately, they suffered some kind of hack, and then that really brought them down. But I still have hope that they will come back because they are still the biggest lending play on Binance Smart Chain. They're equivalent to MakerDAO, right? So hopefully they can come back. Kava, Wax. Wax is still a great NFT play. A lot of games, very hyped up games, are running on Wax. People just don't know it. Energy Web Token. Energy Web Token, people think that they're going to do something with Tesla in the future. Maybe, but it's loose connections right now. But energy power trading it's kind of iffy right now. Origin NFT play down almost 50%. Band down almost 60%. So Origin I do like. I think they're in the right place. They're trying to become an NFT marketplace. Band is like an Oracle solution that so. They're still the second biggest Oracle play. And then I think that's pretty much it. Sushi down 50%. Yeah, Injected Protocol down 60%. Anchor is another one from Terra down 50%. These are good ones. And I get asked a lot about like New Cipher and Clever and Seller. Sandbox down 41%. I think that's a good one. Stormex is not bad at 51%. I mean, there's just bargains left and right. So hopefully that gave you guys a good idea of which ones I like, which ones are good bargains right now. Obviously, the ones that are down 50, 60, 70%, they're probably better buys because some of these projects are only down 10, 15, 20%. But still, doesn't mean that they're bad pickups. All right, so someone asked about... Yeah, I'm not going to look at this. You were the one, or someone else was the one that was looking at asking about it. Sorry, I'm not going to look at it. When do you think alts will start to recover and Moon? We're talking about months or years? Probably months. We've seen this before in 2017. Bitcoin just goes sideways for 3 months, 4 months, right? So we may see something like that happen, where Bitcoin kind of stalls out for a little bit until it's ready to pop, and when it pops, altcoins will follow. So I think it's going to be, maybe a few months. Maybe not. Maybe it's sooner than that, but if worst case scenario, I think it's going to be a few months. Hugo Finance throwing Call of Duty tournament tomorrow. We'll partner with streamers for NFTs. Check them out. They're different. Partner with eFuse. BSC DeFi token. The DeFi token on Binance Smart Chain would be used on a decentralized platform or holders' votes matter and shapes. Okay. But what is it about? This doesn't explain. What does a DeFi token on Binance Smart Chain? What does that mean? It doesn't explain what this does. Premise, here's the thing. If you're a part of this project, you need to actually explain to people what this project does, because it does not explain it. It just looks like another, I hate to say, a useless project. Just because you have a Call of Duty tournament tomorrow and you partner with streamers doesn't mean that gives them a good use case. Are they in streaming? Are they in NFTs? What are they about? No one knows. B-Pro is still more than a 10x from all-time high. I know where I'm putting my money into. More to come from Rue and team. I think so. I think Rue's still working on a lot of stuff. So I do think that they have a lot of potential. They haven't given up, that's for sure. So you look at Unizen, I think they'll grow very big. Solid project, just hired. No one knows who James Tyler is. Nope, never looked at this before. A smart exchange ecosystem. Just another terminal, another trading platform. I guess it could be good. Nothing really stands out. I don't like Singularity.net. I think it's just too early for AI marketplace. General, you already know. So they're not doing anything against hunger, okay? They're not partnered up to do anything with hunger. I'm tired of YouTube not notifying me when my favorite channels go live. Re-hit that notification bell. I mean, unhit it and re-hit it. Sometimes that helps. I know you're not a big fan of medical health coins, but any medical coins that you think have good potential. The only one that I thought was doing well was Solve.care, but you know what? I think they're limited. Yeah, they have not gotten any traction. They have the Arizona like network, so they do have something that some group that is using them, but still nothing. I'm telling you, it's really hard to break into the medical industry. I've said that. I worked in it. I worked in the medical industry as IT. It's very hard to break into that space. Can you dig a little deeper into engine, use cases, and so forth? Well, I've done that so many times. Engine is so many things. You could use it to create tokens, like Chili's fan tokens is created based off Engine. They have a new ERC standard for games so that you can have gaming items. Their universal wallet stores those NFT items and crypto. And they have a layer 2 solution that projects can use if they're on Ethereum. They also came out with their own chain. But basically, and they have a NFT marketplace. They do it all. So if you want to create a token, it's not really for users, more for projects. So hopefully that I understand. Hope helps. Crypto is relying on us to get bigger. I bugged my crowdfunding to accept crypto. They email everyone how they're... I don't know what you mean. You bugged your crowdfunding to accept crypto. I don't know what you mean, man. But I do agree with you. I mean, we need a lot of strong holders. That's really what we need. What is this? UFI die. Too small, Jose. Too small. Any thoughts on Fetch? Real use case with autonomous AI agents? No thoughts. No thoughts. Gino, thank you. Real estate play for labs. Yeah, I've looked at it. I don't like it. I don't like tokenized real estate. It could develop into something. Okay, I realize that. Because you can tokenize and do fractional buys of pretty much anything. There's fractional stocks is coming. I think it is already here, but you could do fractionalized stocks too. Fractionalized tokens, real estate, that's just not something for me. I think something in real estate, you just have to own it all. But you know what? Maybe it can catch on, but I'm not into it. Doc sounds familiar. Range of tools incorporate blockchain technology that enables business developers to create verifiable credentials. Why do you need verifiable credentials? Create digitalized identities, create, manage, and present credentials. Search. What would you build? Healthcare, supply chain, workforce. Okay. So you're creating a, like an ID service for apps, and I guess you could issue certs too. It's like a B2B kind of play. So for retailers, I don't know if they're gonna care about it. Flow, buy, sell, or hold. I would hold Flow. I like Flow a lot. Niven, replay. I just went through like 100 of them. Josh, thank you. OLT, One Ledger. The shortcut for blockchain development to speed up adoption. Our blockchain development team. Okay. It's like a consulting company almost. Let me scroll up. XFin, they're a game trader, growing huge on their radar. They don't pay for listing on exchanges. I think I looked at XFin before. Zinfin. I'm pretty sure I looked at this before. They are relatively big already. Yeah. I remember looking at this. Okay. I don't know too much about it, so I can't really comment on it. All right, last few questions. Harmony or Vet? Just buy both. Based on your experience, what's your dollar cost average strategy? Do you buy a fixed amount? There's no right or wrong. You could do a set amount that has worked very well for many people, or you could just buy on the dips. And that has worked very well for people. I do like Cosmos. I think their gravity dex is going to be a big thing. Synthetic, I'm not really a big fan of Synthetic at this point. I think their competition is too fierce, and there's a lot of like native like synthetic token creations now. So I don't know. I'm more neutral on them. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. You know what? While I've been doing that, Bitcoin has been coming up a little more. All right, so Bitcoin is doing pretty good today, and altcoins are still doing. They're playing catch up, but not as good as Bitcoin because Bitcoin dominance went up slightly, right? But there's a lot of good plays, and like I've been saying all week, and all of last week, and all of last month, and and forever. Basically, you never know. You never know when things are going to turn around. You never know which direction things are going to go. And the most important thing is just don't fear yourself out, right? The anticipation of pain is worse than the pain itself. And it also relates to investing. There's too many people that are sitting on the sidelines because of all the FUD that they're hearing, right? Keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And unfortunately, all the good times, all the good buying opportunities is gone because sometimes you just wait a little bit too long, right? So stay the course, guys. Do your own homework. Look at the projects that you believe in, you support, and invest for the future. Don't invest for next day. Don't invest for next week. Invest for the future. That's how you go bring life-changing wealth to yourself, and that's how you go change your life. All right? So stay strong, guys, and enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? And shout out to David Lee again. All right, take care. Bye-bye.